Good morning. It's the 9th of June 2025. And yes, I'm aware of my calendar saying November, but I really like the picture on it, and that's why it's still there. So this is not filmed in November and pretending it's June. It is June the 9th, 2025. It is 4:30 in the morning. It is weigh-in day. Have I done that? No. Why? I'm waiting to go to the bathroom. I'd like to get as much out before I actually do my weigh-in, if that makes sense. So we're going to do that. Okay? But before we do all that, I want to show you and talk about what happened yesterday when I went through my numbers and what I had to eat. Okay, so yesterday, first thing in the morning, I had the last two baked potatoes with 50 grams of cheese, which was what it was. I had my yogurt, but I didn't have the walnuts, and I swapped it out for a banana, so I had all of that nice little potassium stuff. And then later in the day, I was like, do you know what? I've still got coriander and mint. Tanny and I went shopping, and I'm kind of liking where things are going, the way that I'm doing them at the moment. I'm being reminded of a lot of things from my training that I never really thought much of, and now I'm thinking. It's forcing me to think and reuse the information that I have, right? Heal thyself, that's the thing. So I decided that we had a couple of tins of tuna still left. I had this coriander and mint. I make something called Thai tuna salad. I absolutely adore. However, the original Thai tuna salad takes oil, and I didn't have tuna in oil. I only had tuna in brine, which was fine, and I'm not upset about that. So I just drained them off. I used two 160 gram tins. I had one small to medium brown onion, a bag of coriander, a bag of mint, some chili, which is kind of like garlic but chili. It's lazy chili, 1 teaspoon of sugar, that was it, and 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. And can I just tell you, I dove into that and I almost couldn't eat it all. It took me about an hour to get through it all. So that's, it is what it is. But that total for the food for the day was 1475 calories. Now, if you remember what my calorie deficit has to be, that's to maintain. I'm well under, but also incredibly full. Like, I struggled with the last bit of this. Now, if I'm eating it normally I would have it with some rice, and I would probably make that amount of salad to last a couple of days, and I would bulk it out with some rice. But at the moment, I'm trying to eat what I can, try and cut down the carbs as much as possible. Yes, there's 150 grams of carbs there, but none of them, except for the ones here to do with sugar, which I didn't have the number for, which I think is basically 32, right, let's be honest. None of them are bad. None of them. They all come from good places. So what's the problem? They're not, apart from that 1 teaspoon of sugar, and the tablespoon of raw honey. All of the other carbs have come from good places. They're full of fibre. It's good food. So not a big deal. And most of them are resistant. Most of those are resistant, not glucose spiking and stuff like that. So not a big deal. Not a big issue, right? But this salad just gave me gave me more protein than I can think of. Now, I have very quickly looked at the hang on a second. Let's get back to where we need. So when we went to do the shopping yesterday, I had a look for high protein wraps. I like a wrap. I do. I really do. Right. But I had a look on the back because label reading is quite important at the moment. If it comes in a packet, I have to read the label and I have to make sure where I'm at with things. 736 calories for one wrap without anything on it, just for one wrap. 736 calories. Now if I was just trying to maintain what I was doing, I'd be cool with that. If that was the only meal I was having, like main meal I was having for the day, I'd be cool with that. Is it something that I want to do on the regular? Oh hell no. The packet of wraps actually stayed there because once the packet's open, I've got to eat them all. And I wouldn't be able to eat anything else for the rest of the week, and I wouldn't be able to put anything with them. So that to me is a no-go straight away. Not happening. So we did go and buy some more veg. I did get some more yogurt. I am going to do this the way that I'm doing it at the moment. Now, one thing that I remember being told and learning about when I did my degrees and stuff was zigzagging, right? So zigzagging is basically if you stay on the same amount of what you are losing and doing the same stuff all the time, eventually you will plateau out and you will have to do something to change that. Okay, so what I'm doing at the moment is staying below 1500 where I can, or where I am at the moment as I can, and once that starts to plateau out, I will be going on to the water fast, and I will do that for a couple of weeks, whether that's a week or 2 weeks, maybe 3. It depends on how I'm feeling with it, how my mental health is coping with it, whether I'm about to explode internally because I'm not eating for an extended amount of time is entirely up to me, right? But I'm going to do this my way, for me, okay? But what the water fast will do will reset that. So because I'm zagging to the zig, if you know what I mean. So I'm changing it around so my body doesn't get used to it, because eventually your body gets used to the fact that you're eating in a deficit, and it will go, oh okay, so this is new normal. Ta-da! Maintenance. So yeah, let's not do that. So that's when you have to change things up, and you can either raise what you are having or you can drop it even further. And if you're not actually putting anything in your body, it is forcing it to use what it has as the energy it needs to do what it needs to do, right? That's not a problem. Am I going to stop taking supplements? No. Am I going to stop drinking my water? No. Am I going to take the electrolytes out of it? No. And I'll tell you for why. Because my legs right now, even my partner, Tanny, he turned around and he went, I can see it. He can see the difference just in 1 week. So that's not going to change. That's going to be exactly what it is. So there we have it. That's where we're at the moment. Ta-da-da-da. But we're going to be trying to stay as high protein and low carb as possible. But our body needs the carbs. My brain needs carbs. But whether they're good carbs or bad carbs is entirely up to me, right? So if I have carbs that come from whole foods, I don't see a problem. And that's the whole thing of this, is trying to stay to the whole foods. The more you stay to the whole foods, the better it's going to be for you. And the better it's going to be for me if I'm not eating stuff out of a packet. Obviously, I'm not going to be making enough yogurt a week to maintain my yogurt habit. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit of an addiction, I'm not going to lie. It's become a bit of a thing. I might have to get some more chia seeds in the next week or so. I didn't realise just quite how much I love them. But okay, so it's kind of where we're at right now. that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, so we're going to... But I think meal prepping is also going to be quite important, because I don't want to be going to the fridge and going, oh no, what can I eat? Because you know those moments where you're just like, yes, but I want a something, but I can't have a something. What I might do is make myself some hummus. I've got loads and loads of different kinds of beans in the cupboard in tins, and I can turn any of those into some kind of hummus dip thing. I have celery, I have carrots, I have radishes, I have all of that kind of stuff. All of that stuff I really like to just have with some kind of dip. Now, as long as that dip is not filled with cream and cream cheese, I'm all good. Now, I bought some cottage cheese yesterday to do the vegetable mornay bake with, which will probably be my main meal for a while. I'm probably going to get 6 or 7 different meals out of it. I don't know, maybe I'll only get 4, but it's not really that much of a worry, because there's not that much to be worried about in it. You know, one thing that people need to remember is that whole milk is 3.6% fat. It's not... I don't get the big deal. I really don't. I really don't. And they're not bad fats. They're fats that your brain needs for functioning, you know. Sure, should women be drinking as much milk? No, which is why I'm having yogurt, because it's fermented milk. You know, cheese is fermented milk, so you know, so it's not as bad, but it is good for my gut health, and considering all the issues that I have digestively, that is really important right now. So I'm going to continue with this. I'm actually feeling a bit better. Yeah, I'm doing the weekly check-in and I'm thinking, do you know what? I'm actually feeling a bit better. I'm starting to feel like me. Although yesterday I had an endometriosis attack where I know that I've had a cyst that has ruptured. And can I just tell you, for anyone who's had a baby with no drugs at all, times it by 10. Times the worst pain of that by 10. And then, yeah. And since I've done that, I kind of know. And my son came out sideways. He was awkward little fucker, still is. But, you know, it is what it is. But the point is that it's painful. And it's bad. And it's not fun. And after moments like that, that's when I had the salad. Because normally after that, I would hit the Haribos. Because quite frankly, I deserve them. But no, I decided to make the tuna salad instead. I wanted something that was going to make me feel better because I felt better, and not because I was eating to compensate. I wanted it to be something good that was going to do my body some good and not just my brain some good, if that makes sense. So, and it worked. It really did work. It really did work. So that's cool. But we need to do the stats today. We haven't done the stats yet. The weight part of this, the weigh-in part, is going to be done later, and it'll probably be tagged on the end of this video. But that's just the way it is. So I've just taken 5 minutes because I wanted to go and get my water for the day. Don't forget, you need to shake this every time you eat it, or drink it, sorry. Why? Because the minerals aren't dissolved in the water. They just, it's like sediment sits in the water, right? So then you end up with clear water, and just a little line of sediment underneath. So you need to shake it up before you drink it every single time. Right, so we're going to put that down there for a minute. Now I've got my yogurt this morning, and in here all I have is I have my raspberries, and you can see that these are ones that we grew because there's some yellow ones from the freezer last year. Could I have used fresh ones from the garden this year? Yes, because we've had our first harvest. Did I? No. I also have a banana to put in here. Why did I not put the banana in already? Because ew, that's why. There is nothing worse than a soggy friggin' banana in your mouth. It is just devil's food. Right, so I chopped that up and I'm going to put that in there, and then that will be my breakfast for today. Right. Aren't you having anything more? Probably not today. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it today. I'm quite happy just having... The yogurt has actually become like a comfort food. I don't know how to explain it to you, but today it just wants that, right? So in that is 500 grams of plain yogurt. You've got a cup of frozen raspberries. I've got a tablespoon of chia seeds. There's a tablespoon, there's 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, and then there's a tablespoon of raw honey, and then the banana, and that's it. And that'll do me quite happily until about, I don't know, freaking 12 o'clock. Right, let's get this blood pressure done. Let's get the blood pressure done. Ooh. I'm actually quite excited to see what this is going to turn out like, to be honest, because, what time is it? I can't remember what time it is. What time is it? 4. Oh, what is it with these pans, man? 4:52. These were invented to go into space. I think the Russians had a smarter idea when they decided to use pencils. So much smart. Oh, it's just errored on me because why? Because I was doing that. Right, start again. Don't move your hand. Now I take my supplements after I've had breakfast, so it'll probably have those at about 6 o'clock this morning. I haven't checked my ketones. I'm not expecting to see too much change at the moment. I'm not, and that's okay. That's okay. Oh God, I must have been tired yesterday when I wrote that out. I wrote blood pressure instead of blood sugars, so I had blood pressure twice. I was like confused. Oh, 112/68. Not bad. 83 pulse. Okay. There you go. Ta-da. Not bad, eh? Not bad. I'm not upset about that. So my blood pressure is dropping. I'm quite pleased. And considering what happened last night and the state I was in last night, I'm not unhappy about that. Really not unhappy about that. Blood sugars. Really starting to question the point of me doing the blood sugars thing. I'm only doing the resting blood sugars. I'm not doing any others. And they're all coming up the same anyway. you know, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, right? So I'm starting to question it, and I feel like I will never get used to stabbing myself in the finger, ever. It's not something I ever want to get used to. It's not something that I can see myself ever being comfortable with, is hurting myself on purpose. Yeah. It's not a fun way to go, I don't think. It's just, and that's probably a really good thing, considering. Let's just. Oh, I forgot some. Yes, I have. Right. Okay. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4.9. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. 4.9. That's pretty good. Ow. Right. So that's pretty good. Have I done weigh-in yet? No. Why? Because I haven't been to the bathroom yet. Now, normally I would have gone by now, which is very... I don't know if... Because normally it's about an hour after I wake up. It hasn't happened. So whether my system is going into a change, or whether my system, there's something going on with my digestion at the moment, I can't tell you. Whether it's an issue with the hernia, or with the diverticulitis, or with anything that's going on in my stomach, I can't tell you. Is it because I'm menstruating? I don't know. Is it because... I mean, it's not like I'm not having enough fibre, right? But when you start making changes to your body starts making changes, right? That's the bottom line here, okay? Your body starts making changes and adapting itself, and being okay with the fact that, you know, you're making these changes for it, and that's fine, you know. So maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe it's something to do with the endometriosis attack I had last night. It's quite possible. I might just have to do weigh-in without. And if that means that next week I look like I've lost more because I've lost more, then that's okay too. We can't always have things the way we want them. All our ducks are not always going to be in a row. There's going to be some idiot with a left-leaning barrel that's going to be shooting at us, and all our little ducks, and it's going to be hitting slightly to the left every time until it gets the one on the left, and then it gets the one on the left, and then it gets the one on the left. You know, they're not always going to be on in a row. But you know, that's okay. So maybe I just got to do it. Maybe I just got to do it. Hold please. Okay, 9th of June 2025, week 1, weigh in. Lord, where am I at? Oh no. Good God. Are you serious? Right, so as you can see, there's some quite significant numbers there. So last week's weight when I first started was 27 stone. I'm at 25.12. Okay, now there are 14 pounds in a stone, okay, which is why there's a 0.12. All right, that's fine. My weight in pounds last week was 378. This week it's 362. In kilos last week it was 171.46. And this week is 164.2. That's big numbers. Will that continue that way? Probably not. Why? A lot of that was fluid. Am I okay with those numbers? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I am. Absolutely I am. I need to look at what I have lost and work those numbers out, and I will be back. Yep, so that's 1.88 stone. Loss in pounds is 16 pounds, and in kilos that's 7.25. That is a big bag of potatoes I am no longer walking around with. And do you know what? I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. My knees are starting to feel a bit better because they don't have all of that fluid build up underneath that I'm trying to pick up as I walk. Or if I need to put my legs up, or if I'm trying to get up on the bed or anything like that, and literally feels like it's pulling my kneecap apart, which is quite possibly not that far from the truth, let's be honest. I'm really, really pleased with that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really pleased with that. I can't even tell you how happy that makes me right now. Will it be the same next week? Let's wait and see. As long as I'm losing around about a stone a week, I'm staying on track. And I need this surgery. It needs to happen. And it needs to happen this year. So let's see where we go, right? Okay. Yeah. Right. 1 week down, 11 to go. Woohoo!